Hi, everybody. This is my flipped classroom versus a traditional classroom. I really enjoyed this assignment, so I hope you guys really enjoy this PowerPoint. First off, a flipped classroom is basically a classroom that's a little bit different than an original classroom. So, personally, growing up, I'm 26 years old. Back when I was in, I don't know, grade school and middle school, even high school, technology really wasn't a big part of my teacher's lessons plans as far as I remember. I really didn't see a lot of technology until I really got to college and started taking more, higher classes and whatnot. But a flipped classroom is pretty cool because it offers a lot more of digital and online technology for the students, which could be very good for them. It could really help their learning, and it really helps the students explore different types of ways teachers can actually get the material across to them. So this can include like online learning or field trips or stuff like that, stuff outside of a classroom. I know when I first took a biology class in college, a lot of our lectures, especially our lab ones, were kind of outside exploring the campus, which I thought was pretty cool, pretty interesting, and it kind of helps students relate to the topic a little bit more and easier. You can even communicate with people through technology now. A lot of teachers are actually finding that pretty good for their students, and it's just a different setting, but it's becoming more popular now. Maybe not as often. Some students or some teachers provide some type of limit of technology in their classrooms, but not too much. They still like the old traditional way, which we'll go over right now. A traditional classroom is basically what I grew up remembering, a lot of lectures from the teachers, really going out of the book and reading out of the book, doing a lot of group work, worksheets inside the classroom. Um, we also received a lot of homework to take home and practice, especially over the weekends and stuff like that. Very old school. Pretty much, you're in the classroom and you're listening, and the teacher's in control the entire time. Not a lot of different ways to get more hands on work besides regular worksheets, which I found was, the original way of teaching. But now, as we have more access and more technology, things are starting to shift a little bit, and it's definitely different than a traditional way. A lot of students prefer the old school traditional way, or a lot of students now, maybe the younger generation, are leaning more towards the technology, finding it more helpful for them. So a traditional classroom is still very present to this day, even in college level. But as I can see, it's starting to shift just a little bit more. The best outcome a for a flipped classroom is that it's becoming more popular across our country. For example, in Michigan, there's a high school that's called Clintondale High School, and their classrooms are really becoming more based off of the online learning for their students. A lot of teachers are leaning more towards that technology flipped classroom style. And they actually have done a study and seen that students who have taken a class in a traditional classroom and covered the material and failed, and when they actually switched to a flipped classroom with more technology, more hands-on, and more ways to engage, they found that they had a higher passing rate at that same time. So it's actually showing that it's becoming maybe more successful, especially now with the younger generation having more access to technology. It could actually help them maybe be more focused or even more interested in school and what they're learning. So I think that's a pretty cool study, and I'd like to see that more here on this side of our country. Hopefully, we do eventually. My personal opinion as a future educator, I liked flipped classrooms, especially, like I said, the way our generation is headed. I feel like me as a teacher, I'm going to be becoming more active with technology in my classroom. And not that I have nothing against it, but I think that's just the way everything is shifting towards is more technology. Students seem to be more interested using technology and whatnot. So um, I currently work at a high school, right now I work at San Dimas High School, and one thing I notice sometimes when I go on campus during their school hours to take care of some stuff, that a lot of classrooms and students are allowed to take their laptops now to their classrooms, kind of like a college lecture class, which back then when I was in high school, you weren't allowed to even have your phone on you in the classroom. So I think it's pretty interesting to see that now, even at the high school level, students are actually taking their laptop to school and using them. I just find that pretty bizarre because I've been out of high school 8 years, and it's just becoming more common now. Kind of like college courses, a lot of college students bring their personal laptop to their lectures and record and take notes on and whatnot. So, in my idea, I could see myself having a flipped classroom using a lot of technology based ways to get my lectures across. But I personally don't have anything against it. I think it gives our students more opportunities to explore and to even just see what type of learning style they have. Are they more hands on? Are they more visual? Are they do they do better hearing lectures rather than doing it? Everyone's different, so I think technology can kind of help in all small areas, which is good for our students to have more success and not have to repeat any classes. So this is my presentation. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that we have a better understanding versus a traditional classroom and a flipped classroom.